All right, gamers, it's time. We have incredibly cool and incredibly good news paired with something I'm not sure how to feel about, because Magnificent Maestros has been announced for the TCG, which might sound very familiar because it sounds very familiar to Magnificent Monsters, and that's because these two sets are very similar. This is the Limit Over Collection, the rival set for the TCG, basically. Limit Over Collection, the Heroes, had all of the Heroes / Protagonist Grandmaster Rares, and this and Limit Over Collection, the Rivals, had all of the Rival Grandmaster Rares. And so Magnificent Maestros has been announced for the TCG, and this is where we are going to get the second wave of Grandmaster Rares in the TCG. I mean, it was only a matter of time until they were going to tell us when and how exactly we're going to be able to get our hands on these cards. I have reacted to every single one of these at some point. And I mean, some of these are very, very powerful cards. So this is going to be another meta shift. I think it's set to release in November this year. So 2 months after the Magnificent Monsters set, which brings us the Heroes Overframes and Grandmaster Rares. But there's more news to this set. This set is going to introduce the 3 archetypes from the Revolution Booster Toon, Unchained, and Witchcrafter. And all 3 of those archetypes are currently meta relevant in the OCG, really strong. And the Toon deck in particular, of course, is a deck that we've talked about on this channel countless times over the last couple of weeks. If you want to see my opinion on those cards, I mean, even like yesterday or 2 days ago, I uploaded a very long discussion about hand knowledge and what kind of role it plays in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I mean, essentially, I don't want to just go over those takes again in this video. That I think that discussion was pretty cool, so check it out if you haven't. But essentially, Toons is going to be joining the meta in November alongside Witchcrafter and Unchained. Witchcrafter and Unchained are actually 2 decks that are also quite solid. Unchained especially got some pretty cool support and has started to see some meta viability in the OCG as well. But Toons is by far the best deck in the OCG, and the way Toon wins is by putting Mind Scan onto the field, which is a card that lets you look at your opponent's hand and then declare a card name every turn, continuous trap. You get to see their hand and face down cards at all times, and you can declare a card name and it's negated for the turn, basically. And they also have a counter trap, and so they basically look at your hand and negate 2 cards for basically free. So yeah, that's that. We're not going to go into too much detail on this because this is something, like I said, part of a lot of videos on this channel in the last couple of days. So go check those out if you want to join the discussion on Toon in particular. But yes, this is going to shape up the meta quite a bit. I mean, I've actually been very positive about these Grandmaster Rares. Initially, I was a little bit scared that the Grandmaster Rares were going to be very power crept because it felt like something super special. We're getting these for the first time, and maybe Konami wants to make sure that these are a hit. And so they make them very powerful, because some of these read incredibly powerful when I read them for the first time. In reality, these have just turned out fine in the OCG. Nothing has completely taken over the format over there in terms of the Grandmasters. So I'm actually looking forward to these cards. I mean, for example, the Starving Venom Fusion Dragon for Heavenly Dragons is actually a card that I had a lot of fun playing with in Predaplants in Master Duel, because this card's already out in Master Duel, even though it doesn't have the overframe in Master Duel, but it's out there as a regular art, and this card's very fun. This card's basically it's a super poly target. It needs 2 darks, but you can also just make it with your own cards. But if your opponent activates a card or effect, you can fusion summon using this card and your opponent's monsters, which is really cool. It's a very fun card to play with. And just in general, basically the way this works, it's the same exact thing like Magnificent Monsters, is we're getting 3 overframes per rival, per character, basically. 3 Seto Kaiba ones, 3 Saint Truesdale ones, 3 for Jack Atlas, 3 for Kite Tencho, 3 for Yugioh Yuto. I don't know if that's the same guy or 3 different ones. Let me know. I haven't watched what is this? Not Zexel. It's Arc V or Arc 5. I never know what to say. And then 3 for Varus, who is apparently, I've been told, my spirit animal, because he hates what's it called, Cybers, or is that Revolver? Are those the same? Is that the same person? I don't know. This is the Dragon Link guy. Anyways, they got the Rocket Barrage. I'm actually a little surprised that Rocket hasn't taken over the OCG, or at least been viable, because Rocket Barrage is essentially circular plus soul charge for rockets, which sounds crazy, but I think it has too many other problems like Hua to be relevant. But yeah, other than that, I mean, there's nothing too crazy to talk about here, other than the fact that it now gives us confirmation on when we're getting these cards and when we're getting Toon, because structurally this set I think is pretty much exactly the same as Magnificent Monsters, and Magnificent Monsters is going to release in a month from now, or a little bit more than a month. So I guess we're going to see how successful that product is, but it's expected to be extremely popular because of the Grandmaster rares. And I think this set is going to be not much less popular. I mean, okay, I don't know if Dark Magician or Blue Eyes White Dragon in general is more popular, but I mean, a lot of these cards are absolute bangers. The Cyber Dragon actually being my absolute favorite overframe or Grandmaster rare that they've announced, simply because to me, out of all of these cards, Cyber Dragon is the most iconic in terms of its competitive history. Because I don't look at cards like this from just the standpoint of how was this in the anime. I look at it from how was this in competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! And pre-2010, this card was an absolute powerhouse. So I love it for that reason, the overframe. So I mean, I guess you can let me know what your favorite overframe out of the bunch is, but for me, it's definitely the Cyber Dragon. Which, if I ever get lucky enough to pull one of these, I would love to get the Cyber Dragon. That's an awesome one. But a lot of the other ones are also really, really cool. There's some chibis in there. We are getting the Chibi Albaz, Chibi Ecclesia, Chibi Lovely Labyrinth, Chibi Typhon over here is very funny to me. And then, like I said, Toon, Witchcrafter, Unchained, which personally, I'm excited for Unchained. I'm a little indifferent on Witchcrafter, and I'm scared of Toon. I am very, very scared of Toon, but we'll see how it goes. I am excited for the overframes though. Deep Eyes White Dragon, the Blue Abyss searches Rotary. So I think that's good news for some people, not for everyone though. But I think the good news is by the time that we get this set in November, you probably don't have to worry that much about Cool Tune anymore, because at that point the meta players who want to look at your hand are going to play Toon instead. And at this point, until November, we will have a new ban list for sure. And I think the next ban list is also going to hit Cool Tune for sure. So the fact that Deep Eyes White Dragon Blue Abyss searches Rotary, I think is probably not super relevant by the time. Even though the deck did at the most recent Japan championship, it got, I think, top 8 with 1 copy of Rotary because it's limited over there, and 3 copies of the Blue Eyes to search it. So, I mean, maybe it's still relevant even after Toon release, but who knows really. But yeah. Anyways, mark your calendars. November, I want to say, where does it say the exact, also reprints? Here you go, the list of reprints. I believe this is all courtesy of Refs Cards, who posted a video on this, but I'll just scroll through this. I haven't looked at it in too much detail yet. I'm not sure if there's anything here that has been super expensive in terms of the Toon cards as well. I don't know. I haven't really kept up with the Toon market. But there you go. These are the reprints that have already been confirmed. It says many more on both of these, so probably getting more reprints. Hopefully some good stuff in there. Who knows? But yeah, that is Magnificent Maestros for you. I'm going to wait for Magnificent Monsters release to first see how successful that pack is, and then we'll see what happens with Magnificent Maestros. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I mean, Toon had to happen at some point, but did you expect it to happen so soon? I was personally hoping for it a little bit later down the line, just postpone it as much as possible. But yeah, anyways, the news are now out. We now know when it's going to happen. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time, Duelists. Bye-bye.